What's up, guys? We're here at Press Start Tech and Games, and it's time for another weekly update. We have a great variety of games and consoles today, so let's hop right in. Let's kick things off with Nintendo 64. We have some complete in box games. We don't see those a lot for that particular system. But first off, we're going to go over something that we do in the store when we get games that aren't in great shape. On our online store, we just use stock images just because there's so many games. And because of this, we don't want to sell games that are in too rough of a condition online because we don't have a great way to document that. So when we do get games that are damaged but they work well, we make them what we call one-off listings, where we kind of make an additional listing that's going to be deleted once the game sells, and it doesn't go online, so you can only get this in store. So an example, we have this Zelda Ocarina of Time. You can see that the cart itself is fine, in like pretty good shape, but the label is pretty rough. Got some sticker residue, got some fading. So we have it discounted. We have this at $45, about 10-15 bucks cheaper than what we normally sell it at, and it's not going to be found on our website. So be sure to come visit us in store to get a good look at that guy. Moving on, we have our complete in box N64 games. We got a great selection in this week. The biggest highlight is going to be Diddy Kong Racing. In really good shape, not a lot of damage to the corners. Kind of hard to show you in the casing. We put all of our complete in box retro games in these plastic cases just to keep them safe, but it's complete. It has the insert, it has the manual. We also have a Kirby Superstar for the Super Nintendo. We don't have this one in the protective casing yet because I wanted to show you the condition. It's a little beat up, but this is a really good complete one. Also has the insert and manual, has some tape there. So the main damage is the tape and the two pieces on the front. But we have this discounted as well for the condition. Normally we'd probably sell it around $225, $230. We're gonna have it down at $175. That is gonna be on the website, so that'll be a great pickup. And then we have another complete in box for Game Boy. You have Tetris Attack, again, a little rough, no damage, just a little crimped. But that's a nice pickup. And then a kind of obscure Nintendo DS game. We have Jewel Time Deluxe. Just seems like a kind of Candy Crush kind of game. It was priced at $75 when we looked it up. We did some research and that seemed pretty consistent. We've also got some decent mid-range picks for Nintendo 64, NES, and Super Nintendo, as well as a handful of loose handheld and Switch games. Moving on with Nintendo, we're going to go over GameCube, Wii, and Wii U. We'll start with Wii U. We're just going to highlight one game. We have Sonic Lost World, just like a little $30 game. We use a pretty small library, so it's nice what we can highlight if we actually do get a little more pricey selections in. For Wii, we have two just Mario titles, but these are ones that go very quickly, so we want to highlight those so you can get a chance to hop over to the website at pstg.store and pick those up if you want to grab them. You've been waiting for them. If you're local, we also have the option to hold games through the website. You can do that by purchasing the game with in-store pickup. So for Wii, we have Mario Super Sluggers. Really popular one, almost instantly evaporates. That one's complete in box. And we have a in-box but no manual copy of Mario Kart for the Wii. Again, probably gonna sell today, so try to grab that quickly. For GameCube, we have two games to highlight. We have a Mario Party 7. Box is in pretty good shape. Comes with the manual. And we have Digimon World 4. It's kind of a cool one. We actually had the case lying around for a while, and we got a loose disc in. Other than that, we have some pretty common but still popular titles for all three of those systems. Got some Mario games, some Super Smash Brothers, Super Mario Bros. For the Wii, Metroid for the GameCube. So just a nice mix of Nintendo games coming in this week. Now it's time for something for you Sony lovers out there. We're going to start off with PlayStation 2. To highlight, we have what some people consider to be the best game in the PS2 library. We have Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi 2. Tenkaichi 3, of course, is the very expensive one, but 2 still holds a lot of value. We've seen these all go up in the last year, all three of the Tenkaichis. We also have the standard Budokai 1 and 2, just all the Budokai and Tenkaichi games that are very beloved by the fan bases, and they're just really cool fighting games. PlayStation 2 was one of our most popular categories in the whole store. It is the most popular category from the PlayStation library, and we have a great selection in this week. This week will literally be the first time since we've opened that we have a decent PS Vita restock coming in. Some nice mid-range titles, and the most valuable one is going to be Tales of Hearts R. Nice little game, don't know much about it, but it holds pretty good value. A lot of the Vita games, kind of like the Japanese import style games, tend to do pretty well. Sticking with the Sony handhelds, for PSP, we have a nice Jak and Daxter. PSP is always nice when they're in case because those games just get like destroyed. So anything to kind of help instill some confidence that they still work is nice. But we test everything over $30, so that game is good to go. For PlayStation 1, we have some pretty nice titles. We have a Metal Gear Solid. Just the greatest hits, not the black label, but still complete. Comes with both the discs, comes with the manual. In pretty good shape. We also have a copy of Power Shovel. This does come in the case and it has the front, but it's actually missing the back. So we priced it out as loose, but it comes with everything else. It actually still comes with all the art. So you could just put the back panel of a generic PlayStation 1 case and get it at a pretty good price, but we have it priced as loose. Some other loose games for PlayStation 1. We have Grandia and Metal Gear Solid. And this is a good time to talk about what we do when loose games come in. We have these custom cases that we make. We have a lot of loose games going out on the shelves this week. And it just helps things look really uniform. It helps display them well. We can put the console that they belong to. We can have the title on the spine. And we just have a graphic that we've designed in-house and that we just think looks really cool. One of the drawbacks to those cases is that for PlayStation 1, they're not the same size. So sometimes people overlook that we have a whole loose section of PlayStation 1 discs out on the floor. So next time you stop by, be sure to check those out. There might be some great picks in there for you. Moving on to PlayStation 3, 4, and 5. Nothing really out of the ordinary, just some nice mid-range as usual, and then a couple creeping up over $30. So we're gonna have one for each console. For PlayStation 3, we have Captain America. PlayStation 4, we're gonna have Sekiro. And PlayStation 5, another copy of Demon's Souls. We get this one in pretty often. It sells pretty well. PlayStation 4 is really shot up, and PlayStation 5 is also starting to do pretty well as people are actually able to get the console, so they're looking to buy some games. There's not too much to go over with Xbox today, so we're just going to combine it all into one segment. Starting off with Xbox Series X, we have the cross-gen copy of Modern Warfare 2. And 360, we have some decent games. Silent Hill Downpour. All the Silent Hill games typically sell very well. That comes in the case of the manual. And we have the only sports games that really hold a lot of value for the modern systems. NCAA Football 13. Also comes in the box. It's actually gone down a little bit. I think we used to sell this for like 60 and now it's down to 37. So if you're looking for it, this might be a great time to pick it up. Other than that, just some pretty common titles. 360, as usual, is just kind of floods the shelves. It's always a battle to get them all in there, but always try to have a little bit of everything. And for you 360 fans, probably have what you're looking for. Wrapping up our game overviews for this week, we have a category we don't usually get to go over, which is Sega. We have some great titles in this week. Starting off, we have this amazing complete in box copy of Sonic and Knuckles in really good shape. Comes with a manual and everything inside. Again, will come in this nice plastic protector to protect it from the sticker and just from getting too crushed. We also have a really good selection of Sega Saturn and Sega CD games. All the Saturn games are gonna come in our custom cases like we mentioned before. The most valuable one we have is House of the Dead, coming in at over $200. But the disc is in good shape, no damage to it. We also have some complete in box Sega CD games. Kind of similar to PlayStation 1, half the battle with those is just gonna be that the plastic of the case isn't completely destroyed. So no super high-end titles for that, but they're all in really good shape. We don't usually talk about the consoles that come into the store because we almost always have at least one of everything, so it's not really news. But this week we have some special occasions. We have a silver PlayStation 2 Slim. We have one just standard with a black controller and also complete in the original box. Pretty cool. Has a little bit of Sharpie on the front, but in good shape. We also have a PlayStation 3 Slim in the original box and a PlayStation Mini, also in the original box. I think this was Sony's answer to the NES and Super Nintendo classics that Nintendo was making. We have a nice selection of Nintendo handhelds and a PSP. That is a 101 Advance SP. Those are pretty hard to find. And lastly, we have an Xbox Series X, used but in great condition. Also comes in the original box, factory reset, and at a great price. And to wrap us up today, as usual, we're gonna go over our Amiibos and any random accessories that we've got in. First off, we do have some more rare Amiibos to highlight we haven't had in before. We're gonna have some Fire Emblem that aren't from the Smash Bros series. So I'm not very familiar with these. No, they're just from various Fire Emblem games. They're all pretty expensive as far as Amiibos go, but they look really cool. What's this guy's name? Oh yeah, Crom. We also have some from the Shovel Knight series. We have Mr. Shovel Knight himself. And let's see, we got King Knight, Plague Knight, everyone's a knight over here, and lastly, Spectre Knight. And we also just have your typical restock of our Zelda amiibos, been coming in and out, a lot of Smash Brothers series, some more Fire Emblem. So they're all in really good condition, and they're gonna be right on the shelves this week. That's gonna be it for us for today. Before we go, I do just wanna go over a few things. We have a weekly sale to celebrate 4th of July. Everything in store and online is gonna be 10% off, so be sure to check that out while it lasts. Also, we're not going to be able to have a YouTube update next week. We have some people out of town and it's just not going to be able to be something we can do. We are still going to have our typical update on Facebook and Instagram. So if you want to see the restock for next week, be sure to head over there. Links are in the description. And you can still see a photo overview and like a text write-up of everything that's going to be hitting the shelves. And that's going to be it. We've really enjoyed this once a week format. Once we get through next week, we're just going to continue to keep chugging along. Leave some comments down below if there's something else you want to see, some kind of improvement. We'll see you.